Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I'm here with Day 20's Scrap Timber 2022, and I've combined it with Stash Dive Tuesday. And I'm doing Stash Dive Tuesday a little different because I have these three paper studio collections. One that is practically completely done, one that is getting there, and one that I've never even opened. And I really want to pull different things from these collections and use them up. So that first one was called Butterfly. This is vintage something. Vintage varsity. Ay vey. And then this last one is Boho Vibes. And it was only $1.50, but I haven't even opened it, and I had it for a while. I like those pink alphas, but these florals are a little crazy for me. The dream catchers and the teepees, I don't know what I was thinking. I guess that it was $1.50. So I would really like to get these used up. So I feel like that should apply to Stash Dive Tuesday, and if it doesn't, I'm sorry. I have these two pictures, and I have scrapbooked these before, so if you've watched my channel for a while, you may have seen these. This is me and my grandmother, and there's a fabulous story behind these pictures that I might get to tell while I am creating. So I have these three sets of papers with the embellishments to go with it, and these two pictures, and I want to get as much used up as I can. So my papers, my embellishments, my pictures. So let's see how this goes. So I already had a plan for what I wanted to do. That background paper is a butterfly, black-based butterfly paper, and then the pink grid, and then this white with gold florals. And I'm taking this white and gold floral, and I'm cutting an inch off either side, so it's going to be an 11 by 11. Then I'm going to take a half an inch off, a half an inch off two sides of this pink grid paper. And this came from, the pink grid paper came from that vintage varsity. And then the other two papers came from the butterfly. And then this paper right here, the florals, also came from vintage varsity. I wasn't going to bring any papers in from the boho, but I end up doing so. So I'm going to cut two papers at 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and I'm going to use those as my mat. But they're not going to stand out on that white paper, so I go ahead and pull the other paper. I have two of these butterfly papers, and I go ahead and cut this one into a 6 1/2 by 4 1/2. So I'm going to get a border there, and that black should stand out much better on that white and gold paper. So I set that aside, and I put these down, and they kind of disappear even with that black back there. I think because it just kind of all goes together. So I pull this ombre paper from the boho paper collection, and I cut these into, they're not a full 6 3/4 by 4 3/4, but they're pretty close. So I make it a pretty thin border, but it is still something. And I think it helps get a little break from that shiny gold and the white that, where that black paper is mainly black. If it just so happens to be cut on a butterfly, then it's white. Like you can see that in the top corner, top left corner of that top one. So I feel like this aqua teal color helps set that aside a little. It also gives me a little bit more freedom with the embellishments that I use. So I'm trying to figure out where I want to put these. And after I did all this matting, I remembered I was going to mat one of them in this frame because it's not too over the top with the flowers. The other ones are pretty floral. And while my grandma loves florals, I was not going to be happy with some big, ugly, gaudy flowers. No offense. So I am thinking I'm going to use this frame like this and just kind of use it as my embellishment piece. So I have these stickers that are right here on the left. those are from the Vintage Varsity, and it says "You've got this." So I'm going to use that as part of my title, because the prompt for today is a long title. And so first down, I put down my frame because I want it to be on the bottom, like underneath everything. So then I'm going to put these pictures down, and I'm going to put them up in the top corner, and the other one's going to be towards the bottom corner, pretty much even. And that gives me a little bit of space to work with. And the only downside is it gives me that weird gap in between the two pictures. And I wasn't really sure what I was doing with that. Like, I'm winging it here, you all. But I have decided I want to use this sticker that says you've got this. And I'll tell you why. In March of 2018, which is the year that I'm documenting, my aunt was killed by a drunk driver. And my grandmother lived with her. And so we had just gone from Kentucky to Texas for her funeral. And I was sitting with my grandmother, and we were just talking about this, that, and the other. And I pulled my phone out because I wanted to take a selfie with her. And so when I pulled it out, you know, where you do the selfie and flip it around, you can see what you're taking a picture of. My grandmother looked real close at my phone and said, "I don't know that man." Actually, I think she said, "I don't know that old man." And I just died laughing. So the bottom picture is me and her just giggling and cackling and just laughing hysterically. And in the wake of such a tragic loss, it was just so needed to be able to have that laugh with her. I mean, I don't understand how she can be smiling and laughing, dealing with the loss of her child, especially such a tragic loss. But she keeps that gleam in her eye till the day she said goodbye to us. She kept that gleam, and 3 weeks after this picture was taken, my dad died unexpectedly, and she lost both of her kids in a matter of 3 weeks, and she still had that gleam in her eye. I aspire to be like her. So anyway, so that's why this picture is so special to me and why I've scrapped it more than once. The other ones I scrapped, and they're in my Texas Travels book. And there's no telling, I may document them again someday because I just love them. This bottom picture where we're laughing and she has her hand over her mouth is my screensaver or my wallpaper at work on my computer. So yeah, because every morning when I turn my computer on, I'm greeted with this laughing face and the memory of this story. And it means so much to me because it reminds me that no matter how bad things are, that I can still smile because you know, I am still very blessed to have had these amazing people in my life. So there's my little, my little sad, happy story. Anywho, so while I've been talking, I was just using all my different embellishments that were mostly from the butterfly collection, and they were clear stickers, so I matted them on white cardstock and fussy cut them out. And then some of them are 3D, like that one butterfly at the top is 3D. And then I also use the gems that came with the butterfly collection, and I make little butterfly trails with the gems. You can't really see them very well, but in person you can. There's pink and black, and so I make the clusters with that. And then I inked this little paper scrap, and I inked it with black soot so it would stand out. And I'm going to tuck it in here so that I can just write a little short journal with my Zig pen, and it's just saying, you know, that Grandma had said something about she didn't know that old man. I am so grateful that these pictures were taken with an iPhone and they are live, and so I can listen to her laugh and giggle whenever my heart needs just that extra little happiness. So anyway, so that is my lovely Paper Studio Collection Stash Dive Tuesday. and documenting and using up some, my long title. So I was going to put something in the middle of that frame and decided I would just combine the two different word stickers that I have here. The first one is right in between the two pictures, and it says enjoy the little things. And then the bottom part that says you can do this, or you've got this. So enjoy the little things, you've got this is going to be the full title of this layout. I just didn't want to distract from the fun and all the shiny shimmery by putting something in the middle of that space. So I hope you'll go below. There will be a list of the people following along and hopping along with Stash Dive Tuesday, as well as the playlist for Scrap Timber 2022. So I hope you'll go check all that out. I also hope you'll come back and see me again tomorrow. Have a great day and happy scrapping.